Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Street Photography Shots Explained. So today, I'm going to go ahead and talk about 3 of my street photography shots. And the reason why I waited an extra day was because one of the shots that I ended up taking was actually of my mom. And yes, that is also technically a street shot, but I wanted to do 3 different types of street shots, so that's why I didn't include that one. But let's go ahead and start with the first one. And the first one is called Central Park in Winter, this shot right here. So for Central Park in Winter, what I wanted to capture most was the shadows leading up to the subject, which the subject in this case is the person that is wearing like the green jacket with the blue type of pants, and basically just have the shadows lead towards the actual person, and then have the trees in the background add to the background. But this is Central Park, and most people either have never been there or want to see how it feels to actually be there. So that's why this is a very different type of photography that I want to go ahead and jump into. And you guys will see in the 3 shots that I ended up uploading recently, most of them are like this, where it's taking a whole scene and basically making it seem like you are there and you're actually seeing, what's going on and where you are. And this is something that I want to focus on in a lot of my future street photography, especially for example, for Europe, whenever I'm going over there, so that you guys feel like you're there. I'll take wide shots like this, so it feels like you're actually there. So this is just one of them, but basically I wanted the shadows at the very bottom leading towards the main subject, which is the person walking towards the camera, and then the canopy of trees adds to the background and it makes the actual shot more interesting. So that's basically the shot. Very simple to explain, but this is the concept that I want to focus on more in my street photography. Whenever I travel, I want to show how it feels to be there and give you like a breath of fresh air of being there whenever I take these photos. But that's this photo. And then for the next one, this shot right here is called New Perspectives Found. So for New Perspectives Found, as you guys know, what I just talked about, like taking a scene and making you feel like you are there. But in this one, I didn't want to just take a photo, straight on. So this is one of those times whenever you can actually angle yourself and not just use the subject right in front of you, and then, have it go straight onto what you're actually trying to take picture in the background. For this one, what I did is I ended up putting the subject to the right at the third, and I ended up using that tower in the background as like my background subject. But you can see that your eye is automatically drawn to the subject on the right because that is on the rule of thirds, and that subject pops up all like automatically. And then you're pushed into the image because there is an angle going towards that building in the background, that tower. So this is just another one of those instances where I'm trying to draw you in and then also show you what it is like to be in Hamburg, Germany, and how people dress, basically how everything looks around there, and just give you a feel of being in that city. And I'm becoming more and more of a fan of taking pictures like this and not isolating certain subjects, because it gives you a more authentic feel whenever you see a whole bunch of different subjects, like the next photo that I'm going to show you. But basically you get a better feel of how it is to be in that city and how people dress, how people, the culture there and stuff like that. So yeah, that's this photo, Hamburg, Germany, and this is called New Perspectives Found. And then for the next one, it is called Midday Rest. So for Midday Rest, this was in Chicago, Illinois, and I've only ever been there once, but this just proves that it was like several years ago whenever I actually went there, and this just proves how many pictures I took whenever I was there. I took around 13,000 photos when I was there. I think it was a 3-day weekend. That just proves how many photos I take whenever I go on these trips, because I'm still using the photos like 3 years later, which, I haven't posted any of these photos yet or anything like that. But this is just another one of those scenes where you see a whole bunch of different people. Basically, this is like a rest area. I'm not 100% sure what building this is, but what I wanted to show here was the reflections. Whenever I first saw it, I actually ended up shooting this with my Sony a6400 before I had my a7 IV. But basically I wanted to show the reflections, and then come to find out, because it was like really harsh sun at that time, and then come to find out that I was actually trying to shoot, this was whenever I was trying to find myself, I was actually trying to shoot a scene, trying to capture what everybody was doing here, and basically showing you how it is that people live in Chicago, or they may be tourists, they may be actually people that are there all the time, but it gives you a sort of feeling of how it is that people end up living in these places. So as you can see, the main subject that I was trying to capture whenever I wanted to capture this shot was the two people in the foreground walking across the space. But seeing or looking at it, how you can see there are several different people all around, and they're all doing different types of things. It's not just, you know, the subject, the main subject in the middle. It's actually a whole bunch of people doing different things, and it just gives you a sense of how it is to live in Chicago. And that's you know, I think this is one of the earliest examples of where I ended up finding out that this is my favorite type of photography, to do like scenes, you know, to like show you how it is that people live in these different cities. But I really like these because if you ever remember whenever you were a kid, I don't know, for us it was Where's Waldo. It might have been something else for people in Europe and something else for other people around the world. But whenever I looked at those, I really liked it because it wasn't so much about finding Waldo. It was more about finding and looking at the different things that the little people were doing in these maps and everything. And I just enjoyed like that. I lost hours and hours, and I think that's where whenever I found this viewpoint that I really like from the very beginning, is whenever I would see these different types of you know, perspectives and people interacting in all these maps and stuff like that. So that's why whenever I ended up you know, taking these photos, I automatically fell into that rhythm of taking pictures and taking street shots of a whole bunch of different people doing different things around the city. And it just gives you like a feeling like, oh wow, look what that person's doing, look what that person's doing. And sometimes as a photographer, you don't even know exactly what the people that you are taking pictures are doing until after the fact, because sometimes you're really quick. But that's the fun about it too, is like you'll look back at your picture and you're like, oh wow, I captured that, that's pretty cool. But that's just you know, the photo that I wanted to talk about, Midday Rest, this photo right here. But yeah, those are the three photos that I wanted to talk about today. So I don't know if you can tell, but it was supposed to be raining here in Texas whenever I came out here to this park. But what I wanted to do is I wanted it to rain hard so I could, you know, see how it sounds with the rain coming down harder and everything. But as you can tell, it's not raining, and you know, it just sounds normal. Reggie's just down here waiting for me to be done making this video so he can you know, keep walking and everything. Now that everything is like, you know, it's not raining at all, it's much better for him to be walking around and everything. So yeah. I wanted to test my audio and everything with harsher conditions, because there will be times whenever I'm in Switzerland and I'll be close to glaciers and stuff, and I'll be recording videos like this, and yet I won't be able to see or have experience with dealing with harsh air or rainy weather and stuff like that. So I wanted to test it here, but it stopped raining, so you know, things don't always go as you plan. But yeah, those are the three photos that I wanted to talk about today. Thanks again guys for all the support, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys next time.